Gabe Newell once called him the most charismatic esports player. We're talking about Dendi, the winner of the International and an undeniable legend in esports. No current setbacks can diminish his past achievements. And if you somehow don't already know his story,
Opa Dendi,
we've got plenty to share. Danilo Dendi Ishutin was born in Lviv on December 30th, 1989. His childhood didn't exactly hint at the legendary esports career he would go on to have. His mother nurtured his love for the arts, teaching him piano and taking him to dance classes.
Он занимался музыкой, он играл на фортепиано. Он занимался танцами. В школе мы ставили музыкальные сказки, где он исполнял главные роли.
While his father often took him fishing, but it was his grandmother who unknowingly set the stage for his future by gifting the family their first PC. That's where the story truly began.
When we were growing up, it wasn't a good time financially for our family, but my grandma helped us to get our first computer in 1997, early, comparing with other kids in Ukraine.
Dendi was introduced to gaming by watching his brother play Quake, Doom, Warcraft, and Counter-Strike. Before long, he was exploring these games himself, mastering countless custom maps for Warcraft and developing the skills that would later define his career. Yes, I had a computer, but I couldn't afford a proper internet connection, Dendi once recalled, so I started playing on a cheap connection at night using a modem, which gave me terrible speeds. It's hard to play at 32 kilobytes per second. Even so, I managed to win a couple of Ukrainian championships, but after a while, it started to get boring. That's when I discovered Dota. Not long after, Danilo's brother got married and moved out, taking the family PC with him. This left Dendi without access to a computer, forcing him to look for an alternative. Fortunately, he found a computer club just a short walk from his home, which became his new gaming hub. At first, gaming was nothing more than a fun way to pass the time. It might have stayed that way if not for a life-changing event. Dendi's father, whom he was extremely close to and considered his best friend, passed away. He had been battling cancer for a long time, and the disease ultimately became too severe.
I was really sad and was crying a lot. I was sad about I couldn't say him many times how much I love him.
The loss was a devastating blow for the young Danilo.
Actually, I spent more time in a computer because I could not think about it. It's like distractor. It was like a start time actually. The push to play more.
And that's maybe one of the reasons why I'm playing now. Maybe I wouldn't play at all.
Something knock you down, you need to learn to get up. So I'm trying to research this. To learn to get up.
Dendi formed his first team by finding like-minded players on an online forum. Today, we know Danilo as an iconic mid laner, but early in his career, the unknown teenager was only trusted with the role of support. Starting his career at 17, Dendi competed in local tournaments. Within a year, his talent began to shine. His role as a mid laner became clear, and opponents started to take notice of his growing potential. "I take it step by step," he explained. "When I see that the way I'm playing is producing results, I keep going. I like to take risks, but I always calculate whether the result is worth the risk. Simple math." Several factors led Dendi to change teams early in his career, but his sincerity and cheerful personality helped him build many valuable connections, both personally and professionally. One of the most significant milestones in Dendi's early career was his time with Walker Gaming. The team included Travka, Axira, GoBlack, and DK Phobos, with Vlad as their manager.
Я знал Дэнди намного до International, да, за много лет. Был менеджером его там чуть ли не первых команд. И вот он каким был тогда, перепуганным, мальчиком, который держался за свой рюкзак, чтобы у него, не дай бог, клавиатуру в метро не вытащили. Таким он и остался потом.
With this lineup, they participated in several tournaments, showcasing strong performances and consistently reaching the final stages. These experiences not only helped Dendi gain valuable experience and self-confidence, but also allowed him to make a name for himself. The tournaments like MyM Pride, DTS Cup, and Asus Cup attracted teams from Europe, Asia, and China, exposing Dendi to a broader international audience. In 2009, the legendary DTS team was formed, a roster still remembered fondly by fans today.
Он был и воплощением ДТС, и воплощением там АГ, ВГ, такие команды были украинские.
It was with DTS that Dendi and his teammates finally earned a coveted ticket to the ESWC in Paris, breaking the infamous PGG curse that had plagued them in several tournaments. During one of the decisive maps, Dendi's adaptability shone as he switched from mid lane to the hardline position, dominating with Marana in a stunning 21-0 performance. At that time, DTS had no rivals who could intimidate them.
У нас началась какая-то прям золотая эра. Мы начали убивать абсолютно все коллективы. Мы веселились, мы играли абсолютно разнообразными стратегиями, несерьезными.
Well, maybe one rival stood out, the Chinese powerhouse eHome, whom Dendi famously referred to as robots. At the ESWC final in Paris, eHome utterly dismantled DTS, leaving them helpless in the face of their precision and dominance. Danilo Ishutun's professional career can be divided into three distinct phases: before Navi, during Navi, and after Navi. The pivotal moment came when Valve announced the development of a new game in collaboration with IceFrog, a complete reboot of Dota. This news upended players' expectations about the future of their beloved game. But what really caught everyone's attention was the promise of a new tournament with millions of dollars in prize money, a prospect that seemed straight out of a dream.
We heard that there are gonna be some tournament for a huge amount of money.
$1.6 million prize pool. That is for the winner. $1 million for winning Dota.
Despite his association with Navi, Dendi didn't join the team immediately.
One way to forget about pain is to do something that you will be in completely. So, computer games, for me, it was everything.
His official signing came at the end of December 2010.
My nickname is Dendi. I'm from Lviv, Ukraine. I play for Navi.
Still, it gave the team enough time to finalize the roster ahead of the very first The International. We won't dive too deeply into the first The International here, as it's a story worthy of its own video, or maybe even more than one.
This is the most important moment in my life because everything I worked on wasn't useful, and now I have a chance to win this tournament for my family.
What's worth highlighting, though, is the grand final, where Dendi once again faced the Chinese robots from eHome. But this time, everything went in favor of the Ukrainian squad.
Yeah, Dendi as well, gonna look for the hole! Black hole! Three gonna go down for eHome now, they're gonna rotate themselves down. Navi already in the pit. They're gonna try and bring down Roshan. All five. Dendi! He's gonna jump out! He goes for the dream call, he gets him! He gets eHome! Holds him in the middle lane! Navi already on the way out!
A commanding 3-1 victory secured the championship and a staggering $1 million prize.
They're running forward to $1 million, and they will get it! The GG is the call from eHome. Navi have just won $1 million. eHome do take home $250,000 in second place, but Navi are the champions!
Yes, at some point you start noticing the numbers, you can win a whole million. That had never happened in esports before. But at the end of the day, it's just another tournament. You want to win, no matter what. The money is a motivation, sure, but it's secondary. I don't feel any pressure. All I care about are the people watching me and the opponents I have to beat, Dendi said. Although Navi didn't manage to claim first place at the next two internationals, there's little doubt that Dendi was the MVP of these events.
Dendi's gonna try it again, can he? Got him that time! See you in the base move!
Some of his most unforgettable moments include the legendary hook under the fountain and his Gangnam-style dance on the TI stage, both of which have become iconic in the world of esports.
I just had some fun, trolling around.
It was after the unforgettable match against Tong Fu that Pudge became inseparably linked with Dendi. The character skyrocketed in popularity, and even now, 11 years later, Pudge remains one of the most iconic heroes in Dota. Valve even released a signature set featuring a small doll resembling Danilo hanging from Pudge's belt, a nod to his legendary performance. Dendi's charisma and ability to connect with the audience helped him build a massive fan base that supported him not only during tournaments, but also outside of them. He became the undeniable face of Navi.
Да, и действительно, сейчас, это как бы лицо Нави.
Его личность, персоналия, его характер, его доброта, она во многом, такая визитная карточка и всей организации в целом.
The reception he received from fans was unparalleled. No other player at the time could command such admiration and enthusiasm. The grand final of TI3 remains one of the most spectacular and epic matches in esports history. Even today, fans revisit those moments with bated breath.
They don't have enough time.
Oh, cancel TP! He canceled the beat. Puppy, he's not going to be back in the base. He's got BKB, but no boots of travel. Coil on two. Cancels Dendi's TP as well. They are in huge trouble.
But it's caught. Now if they go for the throne, they won this round. They're going to do it.
They're going to do it. Alliance wins. They win TI3.
The Alliance just won $1.4 million. They are your International 3 champions.
For Dendi, this period marked the pinnacle of his career and Navi's success. Between 2011 and 2014, the team won more than 25 tournaments, earning them fame, popularity, respect, and inevitably hate from rivals and critics alike.
Чем выше поднимаешься, тем громче падаешь. Люди, которые достигали огромных успехов, они все прекрасно это знают. Чем более ты популярен, тем больше у тебя появляется хейтеров. Чем более ты известен, тем более людей тебе завидуют.
No matter how much success you achieve, there inevitably comes a time when you have to step down from the podium. For Dendi, that moment eventually arrived.
Понятное дело, что быть 3 года на том уровне, на котором играли Нави 11, 12, 13, это что-то фантастическое. Рано или поздно должен быть даунстрик. И этот даунстрик начался в 4-5 году.
While the 2013-14 season was fairly strong for him, it was clear that the team was losing its edge. At the International 4, Navi barely made it into the playoffs, only to fall to Cloud9 in the lower bracket, ending their run earlier than expected.
And now in comes Sing Sing. That damage output is just too high. It's a double kill for Sing Sing, triple kill for Sing Sing, and ultra kill for Sing Sing, and GG! Navi are out! Cloud9 have eliminated the 3-time grand finalist of the International 4 Navi.
Ну и пожимают друг другу руки команды. Дэнди покидает International.
В этот раз без Нави в финале.
After the tournament, the organization faced a tough decision. Either lose several key players from the roster or part ways with the face of the team. Dendi, the most talked about personality in esports at the time.
Чи було помилкою залишити після TI той склад, який брав участь? Так, було помилкою. Потрібно було змінювати людей. Треба було просто міняти склад, влити нову кров, щоб була мотивація перед TI. Міняючи людей перед кожним TI, це давало буст, це давало можливість розкритись, це давало максимальну, скажімо так, максимальну віддачу. Зараз цього не було і це було видно.
Navi chose the first option, leading to the departure of Puppy and Kuroki. What followed was a chaotic period of roster changes, but none of the new lineups could restore Navi to their former glory. As the team's struggles continued, the criticism aimed at Dendi reached unprecedented levels.
Да, действительно, ему сложно, наверное, сложнее, чем другим в плане вот этого давления, когда не идет игра у команды, во всем виноват Данечка. Это побочный эффект его популярности.
У всех бывают сложные времена. 2 года было для него очень сложным.
Every mistake, every failure, every misstep was pinned squarely on his shoulders as though he were the only one playing all 5 roles in the game. Of course, the team's declining results were reflected in their lack of invitations to tournaments, forcing them to fight their way through qualifiers. In these qualifiers, Navi even struggled against some of the weaker teams. During this period, memes about a new era and similar phrases emerged. It's no surprise, really, watching a team once known as Born to Win struggle like this was painful for their fans, and these memes were a way of coping with the disappointment. Dendi never spoke ill of any of his teammates, past or present. His words always carried messages of hope, fresh ideas, and possibilities.
Пытается сделать так, чтобы люди были более дружными, более миролюбивыми. Со временем это не изменилось. Даже несмотря на какие-то тяжелые времена, он всегда радует этим.
He would joke and do everything in his power to inspire optimism in the hearts of his fans.
I know you chant Dendi a lot, and it's really warming my heart. It really is. But guys, I am just a part of a team. I'm 1 out of 5 guys. I'm 20% and not more. So please, if you chant for us, chant Navi, okay?
Esports personalities, fans, and anyone who could would voice their opinions on everything related to his career, but whenever Dendi made an appearance in the media, everyone praised him and celebrated his presence. Yet despite all the jokes and positive energy, these moments were overshadowed by the team's poor performances in tournaments. Only a handful of tournaments could be considered somewhat successful for Dendi, while most of the time the team's failures seemed to fall squarely on his shoulders. Once again, all the dissatisfaction was aimed at him. Both Dendi and Navi realized that this situation couldn't continue, and in 2018 they parted ways. Many predicted that this would mark the end of Dendi's career. After all, he had already built a huge fan base, his streams attracted a large audience, he remained an interesting figure to follow, and it seemed likely that his experience and knowledge could be put to use in other roles, whether as a coach, a studio analyst, or a full-time streamer. Many believed this to be the case, but not Dendi. The creation of Bait marked a pivotal moment in his career.
It's never too late for a comeback.
Initially, there was no clear vision of what role Dendi would take on. Would he be just the owner, handling operational duties, or perhaps a coach? But as time went on, it became clear that Dendi wasn't ready to end his career as a player, especially not as a mid laner. Given this, few believed that Bait would be able to establish itself even at a Tier 2 level. The early lineups seemed more like a group of untested players than a legitimate team. Whether it was due to a lack of managerial experience, with Dendi making most of the team's decisions himself, or some other reason, Bait set a record, though not a positive one, losing 26 games in a row. This naturally led to a lot of jokes, ridicule, and unpleasant comments from the community. However, there are still positive aspects to mention about the team. One thing you can't take away from Dendi is his ability to spot talented players, Crystallis, Watson, and others who didn't find success with Bait but later thrived in other teams. It's like a survival school, and if you can make it through that tough period, you have a real chance of landing in a good team. Amidst Bait's series of failures, which included poor qualifications, struggles in the DPC North America League, and other setbacks, the qualification for TI 2023 was a rare glimmer of hope. Although they lost 3-0 to Nouns in the grand final, reaching that point was still a significant achievement for Dendi and his team. At the moment, Dendi's last appearance in the professional scene was at the Open Qualifier for TI 2024, where they failed to qualify. With over 4 months remaining until the next big event, it's unclear what the future holds.
You was Dota Pro? I am Dota Pro, my friend. I was, and I am still. In my soul, in my heart, I will forever be a Dota Pro, my friend. But I'm pro at any game I touch. I touch his game, and suddenly I'm pro.
However, Dendi has been quite active streaming Deadlock lately, so maybe we'll see him in a new discipline? Regardless of how much we joke, laugh, or feel disappointed by the results of Dendi and his teams, the fact remains, he is a legend who will always be remembered and talked about. A huge number of players you know today learned to play by watching his replays. He supported everyone he played with, so it's unlikely you'll hear any negative opinions about him if you ask any of the esports personalities.
My father, I think, didn't have time to understand what Dendi is doing. We lost him too early. And if now he can see Dendi, I'm sure that he's proud of his son.
Don't forget to support this video with a subscription, likes, and comments. Share your own story about Dendi. We'd love to read it. Good game.